Alrighty, Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. Alright, we're going to start with Royal Caribbean and the self-service buffet. It's back. So effective April the 2nd, Royal Caribbean said they are returning to a self-service buffet in places like the Windjammer Cafe, the Solarium Bistro, and on their private islands. Now, we did see back in March there were some stories that people were like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here, Royal Caribbean? The buffet is being self-service, on board these ships. And Royal Caribbean came out at the time and said, no, we're staying with crew served. We're staying, this was just something that happened on these ships. Well, it actually turns out that looks like that was a bit of a test to return to self-service buffets. And effective on April 2nd, all of the ships can begin to go back to self-service. So if you get on a Royal Caribbean ship, have an upcoming Royal Caribbean sailing, don't be surprised if the buffets are self-service again. Now, I know this is not going to be popular news with everybody. There's two sides to the story. There are plenty of people that like the self-service buffet. They want to go up there, they want to get their own food, decide what they want, put it on their own plate. And then there's the other side who wants it to be crew served. Because look, let's be honest, when it is crew served and the serving utensils, the spoons, the tongs, all that are kept out of the hands of passengers, honestly, I feel it is a little bit cleaner when it is done by the crew. If you're an experienced cruiser out there, I'm sure you've seen it in the past before. People touching stuff, putting their hands on stuff. The bread, the tongs, licking their fingers, all kinds of stuff goes on in a buffet that when it's crew served, it probably is honestly a little bit more sanitary than it is when it is self-service. And the crew service buffet honestly was kind of one that I hoped would stick around, but it's not going to. Carnival has been self-service. Royal Caribbean's going back to self-service. Disney Cruise Line is also going back to the self-service buffet. So just be warned, if crew serve buffet is one thing that you've really liked and one thing you've really enjoyed since the restart of cruising, I just don't want you to be shocked when you get on your cruise ship and it's not like that anymore. All right, now I want to jump over to Carnival Cruise Lines. We did a story last night about the gratuity increases that Carnival Cruise Lines is putting out. So they're going to $14.50 for a standard cabin, $16.50 for a suite cabin, and these are the gratuity prices effective May the 1st. And because I have upcoming booked Carnival cruises, I received this email talking about the gratuity increases, saying, hey, pay them before May the 1st to get them at the current rate, or after May the 1st, you're going to be at the new rate. All right, so we talked about this yesterday, gratuity increase. Carnival Cruise Lines, Norwegian Cruise Lines has already done this. But here are a couple things that email left out, and I kind of feel it's one of these situations where it's like, hey, look over here while we do this over here, and hopefully you won't notice, because not only are the gratuities going up, apparently the price of the drink package and the Wi-Fi is also going to be raised. And I find it kind of funny that they did not mention that in this upcoming email. They simply talked about the gratuities. They skipped over the fact of what they were doing over here. It's kind of, watch what I'm doing over here so you don't see what I'm doing over here kind of feeling that I get from this. I understand they're going to raise prices. I understand the cost of doing business goes up, fuel's up, supply and demand, all that kind of stuff that goes along with running a business. I completely get it, but it still feels a little bit sleight of handish, kind of, at least in my opinion. And for those that use the Wi-Fi onboard cruise ships, I'm sure y'all know it is mediocre to poor at best. It is definitely not the best service out there. And honestly, Carnival, I think maybe you should improve the quality of the Wi-Fi before you increase the price. Just my opinion. Doesn't work that great to start out with. Perhaps you ought to fix the problem before you increase the cost. But I do want to go back to one thing about the gratuities. And I had some comments on the video about it. I saw some other content creators talking about it. And I've come to a decision. I've come to what I think, and again, my opinion, I think we should really honestly do to finally squash the whole prepaid gratuities issue and get rid of the prepaid gratuities altogether. Look, this is an issue where they're saying, hey, this is what you have to pay. This is what we should pay. Oh, but if you don't want to pay, you can go down to customer service and take it off. Some people do that. A lot of people prepay. Some people say, hey, I prepay and I give more on the ship. Some people take the gratuities off and then pay cash to those that deserve it. Got it. There's so many different answers. There's so many different solutions and so many different ways that people do things. I think the easiest way is just to get rid of it altogether. How about this? We'll simply pay the crew members more money. Okay? Take what they would get in tips in a month, however much that is, from the cruises that they're doing, from the job that they're performing, and increase their monthly contract by that amount. Yes, the cruise fare will go up to compensate for that. But you know what? If you prepay your gratuities, your cruise fare goes up anyway. And anybody that's cruised before knows, if you go in there and look at a cruise, let's say you're going through Carnival Cruise Lines and you're like, ooh, I really like this cruise right here. Look, it's a really good price. $300 per person to go on this cruise, whichever cruise it is. But that is the absolute bottom line base price. Okay, you click on that, you go through the booking process. They're still going to add taxes. They're still going to add port fees. They're still going to want you to add travel insurance. They're still going to want you to prepay those gratuities. So guess what? It's not going to be that price anyway. Just increase it. Show the actual price that it's going to be right there on the website. Because by the time you go through the booking process and click on all that stuff, it's that price anyway. So get rid of the gratuities, increase the cruise pay, and then we don't have to worry about the gratuity process whatsoever. Now, if somebody gets on the ship and feels that so-and-so has provided additional, excellent, above normal quality service, and they choose to give them a little bit extra tip, well, now that is between the individual and the crew member, and the cruise line's out of the gratuity business altogether. There's no more discussion about prepay. There's no more talk about removing gratuities because you're unhappy about this, that, or the other. There's no more removing gratuities because you didn't budget for them. All of that is gone. The argument is gone. The issue is just squashed. So again, I say remove them altogether. I'd rather see the cruise price go up by a little bit, and it wouldn't be all that much. For an example, I am booked to go out on the Carnival Ecstasy on October the 10th. It's just a short little 5-day cruise. I'm going solo on that cruise. I went through and booked it. My gratuities for that cruise, if I prepay them, are $67. So I'm going to prepay them anyway. Why not just increase my cruise fare by $67? Increase the cruise fare by $67 for each person there, in a standard cabin, and pay that money to the crew. Seems real easy. Seems real simple. Y'all let me know in the comments below. What do y'all think? Should we just get rid of the prepaid gratuities altogether, squash the subject, end the subject, raise the cruise fare a little bit, and pay the crew more? And then, if you want to give them a tip, then it's completely up to you if you feel the service is earned. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Alright, I hope you have enjoyed today's news video. If you have, do me a favor, like always, give it a thumbs up, smash that like button for me. And don't forget to hit this little subscribe button down over there if you have not done so already. It's free to do so. Lets you know when our new videos come out and keeps you up to date with the cruise news, our cruise vlogs, and all things cruising. We really appreciate it. Thank you in advance. Hope everybody out there has a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.